Hello, and welcome to Filmsquatch, the podcast where two guys from the Deep South watch and review movies about Bigfoot. It's that simple. Each episode takes a look at a single film about a Sasquatch or a Yeti, and the guys break it down for you. Patrick and Kendall are true believers, but they're too old, too fat, and too lazy to get up off their sofas and go hunt for a Sasquatch themselves. So they just sit back and watch movies about them. Now, let's head over to the Filmsquatch screening room, where Patrick and Kendall are ready to discuss their latest film.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Filmsquatch. With you, as always, is me, Kendall Fontenot, and my good friend Patrick. Patrick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How's it going?
It's going great. We've got a real treat for us today from across the pond, all the way from Wales. We're going to be interviewing Tom Hughes, who co-wrote and directed and starred in his film Foxhollow. Now, he co-wrote it with Amy Jones, his good friend. She appears in this film as well. You may not recognize her, though, because she's the creature. Let's jump into the interview with Tom right now. Patrick, how does that sound to you?
Sounds good, man. Let's get it going.
Someone had seen two men enter in the woods.
But this is where most of the sightings occur. Do you hear that, then?
Something about that footage which bothered me.
Shouldn't have come here.
If you go looking for monsters, then you'll find them.
All right, so Tom, thanks for joining us today. You are the co-writer of Foxhollow, correct? And you're also the star.
Yeah, I wrote it with my partner, Amy Jones, and I produced it and shot it and acted in it and edited it. And yeah, I did everything. There's only like me, and it was basically me and my partner made the whole thing. Like the whole crew was like 5 people, maybe.
Yeah. Can you give us a brief summary of the plot so that folks know what they're getting into?
So it's a found footage film, and it's about a struggling filmmaker who gets hired by kind of an eccentric guy to make a nature documentary in the woods. Takes the job because he needs the money, and then once they get into the woods, the shit kind of hits the fan, and they kind of get hunted by something.
So, Tom, where are you located? Are you in Wales? Is that where I saw? Okay.
Yeah, we're Wales in the UK. So the film is shot like half-hour from my house, in woods that I've lived by and kind of spent a lot of time in. Like everything, all the actors are local, all the locations are kind of, just in South Wales where I'm from.
All right, so let me ask you this. What made you decide to make a Bigfoot movie?
I just love Bigfoot, man. Like, I love horror. I love found footage. I mean, found footage is, I know it gets kind of a bad rap, but I've always loved it kind of the whole way from, getting caught up in the Blair Witch thing from when I was 15 or 16 perhaps when it came out. And I remember kind of going on that website and being genuinely scared by it, thinking it was real. And so I think that coming out at that time, like it was just the right time for me to find found footage. But yeah, I've loved found footage the whole way. So I knew I wanted to do that. But then the Bigfoot angle, like I really love cryptids. I listen to like a lot of paranormal podcasts, watch a lot of documentaries on Bigfoot and things like Small Town Monsters and channels like that on YouTube, So, and it was of all the cryptids, it's kind of the one that I knew the most about, had done the most research on, and loved the most, I think. I've got like a personal connection with it because I kind of see Bigfoot as like the most kind of antisocial monster, like hiding from humanity in the woods, and that's something that I'd like to do quite a lot of the time as well. So I feel like I have a connection with him. I'm like, yeah, stay away from people and stay in nature. That's the place to be.
Let me ask you, do you have a favorite Bigfoot movie that you've seen?
Yeah, and there was, I think when I was writing this, Willow Creek was big.
Oh yeah.
Just because of how much they did with so little, and how much they did with sound, like how much of it takes place in the tent, and then how much they did with sound was really cool. I like Exists as well, the Eduardo Sanchez one, like that shows more the monster, but it's cool to see, like someone like Willow Creek is obviously a lower budget level and much higher than I'll ever get to make a film, but like still a lower budget level compared to someone like Exists. And when you see Exist, it's like, okay, that's what you can do with kind of a bigger budget. So like those two were probably the biggest like inspiration on what I was doing.
Go
The
ahead,
title Foxhollow, is that a real place, or how did you come up with the name?
Yes, apparently it's a place where it's a farm in the UK where a bunch of murders have taken place. I didn't know that when I titled the film Foxhollow. So when you Google it now, it's like me and then some actual murders, and there was a film made about those murders back then, which I didn't realize. So I always just remembered the name. Like I used to live in Hereford in England, like about an hour away from where I'm living now, an hour and a half away from where I'm living now. And I used to walk up this lane every day, and there was a little house tucked away in this lane with a little wooden sign that said Foxhollow on it. So I used to see this little sign walking past this house every day and think, that's a really cool, it's a really cool like name. It's, it's someone I need to use for something. So I think, and that was years ago, like it's always just been in the back of my head, oh, that's a cool name I'll use for something. So when I needed a location for this and I didn't want to use like a real location here, that was the first thing that kind of popped in my head, I think.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question.
Yeah.
Was Foxhollow a real place? And you mentioned the inspiration from Willow Creek and Exist. Were there any other inspirations? I noticed you mentioned you watch documentaries, you listen to podcasts and stuff on Bigfoot, and you integrated things like wood knocks and all that into your film.
I tried to.
How realistic were you going with this creature?
Well, I knew I couldn't show a realistic Bigfoot. I knew, like, I looked into costumes, I looked into masks and things, but I didn't have the money to afford to get something that would look good enough to show on screen, So I knew I needed to do it with sound and a lot of darkness and just little touches of it. So the main way that you're going to know it's Bigfoot is really by knowing, hopefully, about the wood knocking, about like how they're communicating or like the things that Trapper is telling me in the film as I'm going in and he's kind of relaying all this stuff. I wanted that to be the first clue for people who kind of were into cryptids or Bigfoot, I gave Paul Black, who played Trapper, loads of books, channels to watch, documentaries to watch. And most of kind of the first half of the film is improvised. A lot of it was improvised. It was really loose. Pretty much all the stuff you see at the start with him describing the traces and little signs of that there could be some kind of Sasquatch in the area was him just riffing off all these books I'd given him and conversations we'd had about when people found things. Like there were parts I cut from the film where he did a whole rundown of from the name up, like from the name and then the Patterson Gimlin thing and all the Native American connections and things. Like he went through kind of the history of it. It's on the Blu-ray, it's on the extras. I couldn't leave it in the film because it was just like this 10-minute chunk of information that I loved. Like as a Bigfoot nerd, I was like, this is the best fucking bit of the film. This is my favorite scene. But yeah, it just killed the pace of the film dead, so I had to pull it.
I really enjoyed the character of Trapper. That was
Yeah.
it was well done. Yeah, I liked it.
Is he that dark and cryptic in real life?
No, he's I think he's kind of he's the opposite of Trapper. Like you see him and he's like he's kind of been a biker and he's like done tattooing and obviously he's like covered in tattoos. He's a really tall guy as well. Like I'm super short. I'm like, I don't know, like 5'7" or something, 5'8". And Paul's like 6 something. So he's quite an intimidating guy when you meet him. And I didn't really know him before making the film. I'd met him like twice just to get him on board, tell him what he was going to be. And then, but because my partner tattoos, he kind of knew her from the tattooing world. So there was a bit of a connection there. But yeah, he looks really intimidating and scary, but when then you get to know him, he's such a really kind, really like emotionally available, like you know what I mean? Like he's really connected to his emotions. He's really calm. He talks quite quietly. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Yeah, he's brilliant though. He's so good, and like I said, like so much of this, the little magic turns he has, that little glimmer in his eye, that's all him. He's actually like that, like when you talk to him. So the nice thing about just putting a GoPro on and filming everything, you know, and is you catch those little bits where he's like naturally cheeky or funny or whatever, you know. Like he had a whole bit about like this red light district with a sentinel, which again didn't make it into the final film, but like a lot of the stuff he was coming up with was like gold, you know, as we were filming.
I really like the looks of the movie, like the woods you're in. They look so spooky, especially at night. The trees, they look wicked, you know, just that whole area. I liked it.
I used to walk there a lot, like because I knew I had to write it to a location that I knew because I needed to block it in my head before I got there because I had so much limited time with Paul, and I had so much inexperience in making a feature. It's my first feature. I've been making music videos for bands for the last like decade. I've made shorts and things, but it's the biggest thing I ever tried to do. So I knew I needed to shoot somewhere I was comfortable, shoot somewhere I knew. So when I was writing scenes, I knew exactly where the camp was going to be and exactly where in relation to that, say the tree I climbed to find the bit of hair is or whatever, you know. And I mean, it's also like you can plan it as much as you want to, but when you get to the woods, like everything's going to go wrong and you're going to lose stuff and there's going to be people there and motorbikes and like it's always going to be a nightmare trying to make a film anyway. It's going to be ice skating uphill because you can't control real life. But yeah, I think that was one of the things I did do to try and help myself was cast good people who would be able to riff off stuff for me, and then use places I was familiar with and all the tricks that I learned from making low budget music videos, I guess.
So where did you find all of your actors?
Well, Paul was from Amy, knowing him, and then Sarah I'd worked with on a couple of music videos, who plays the park ranger, Sarah Louise Tyler. I worked with her on a few music videos, and we were shooting a lot of medieval stuff because I shoot a lot of stuff for like black metal bands, kind of extreme metal bands. So a lot of it's medieval, and I cast her in a music video. It must have been about 4 years ago, and she was playing. It was really small. It was like the wife of a guy who dies. You know, that was it. And this guy died in the video, and she was like, her performance was amazing, man. Like she was like fully floods of tears and like on her knees, and like it wasn't OTT though. It was really like connected with something.
Now, I was going to comment on her acting. I thought it was fantastic. Just her eyes and her facial expressions and everything. She showed great emotion, and I mean, she was very believable in her acting. You know,
that was what was it. She's got like she's got the ability to connect like emotionally through her eyes, I think, which is quite, you know, that's something that good actors tend to have, I think. And like she was so good. When I saw her get upset before that, I always earmarked her as if I need somebody who is emotional or has been through something, that would be who I used. So actually, when I originally wrote the film and started shooting the film, it was just me and Paul. The whole film was just the found footage. There was no talking heads or anything. But then once I'd shot kind of the first block of filming, it just wasn't sitting right. I was cutting it, I was trying to make it work, and it wasn't quite working. So I went back to it, and we wrote more, and we restructured it slightly, gave it more structure, and added Andrew Lennon as the private investigator, private investigator, and then Sarah as the park ranger. And both of them were shot in a day. Like Sarah's, we went to the woods, did all her stuff, then we went to where she works and shot the interview. And Andrew's was shot in a day as well. Like he just came down, and I didn't know Andrew before filming. He was somebody that Paul knew, and when I said, look, I need somebody to play a PI, do you know anybody 40s to 50s playing age that could do it? He said, oh, my mate Andrew, get him. And yeah, I just trusted Paul's recommendation basically, and Andrew came down. He was absolutely amazing. Like he was so good and so funny as well. Like I didn't expect him to be as funny as he was. There's a lot of outtakes where he's like taking a phone call from his wife saying he's going to be late for tea, and they'll have a cuddle when he gets in and stuff. And he's like, yeah, he was really good, man. I got really lucky because my inexperience directing actors and writing scenes that work was saved by having really good actors. I think that kind of did a lot of the heavy lifting for me.
I want to say all of you on the film were great actors. I thought it was all believable. It all, it felt like you weren't acting. It all felt real to me. It looked good. I think y'all did a good job. Yeah.
I think what I did was I didn't write too much. I didn't write too many lines. I blocked out the scenes with beats, so I knew what we needed to hit in each scene. But I knew what I was going to say, and Paul knew what he was going to say, but I didn't know. Like we didn't know what the other one was going to say at any time, because I was so worried about not acting in anything and not considering myself an actor at all. I wanted to try and create as many situations as I could where I could actually genuinely react to stuff. So I just made sure I didn't know what he was going to say or what he was going to do at any point, really, so that I was actually genuinely reacting to what he was doing, so I didn't have to act. I think it worked okay. And
Yeah, it worked.
I probably structured it too loose because I spent ages in the edit then trying to make it make more sense. And since then, the new stuff I'm doing now is more structured, but I've kept the looseness that I found on Foxhollow, I think, because it did work to a certain extent. I think it's Blair Witch again, like how hands-off they were with a lot of the stuff in Blair Witch and what they put the people through to get the real performances and things. I think because I'd read the book about how they made Blair Witch just as I was writing Foxhollow, I wanted to try and do as much of that as I could. Originally, my original idea was to go camping. Naively, I thought, yeah, I'll just go camping for a long weekend and come back with a feature. It'll be awesome. It didn't work out that way. It sounded really good on paper, but then logistically, when I tried to work it out, I was like, oh, there's no way. But it ended up taking me 2 years because I started shooting it in autumn. Kind of finished, added the extra characters, needed to shoot more stuff, and then had to sit on my hands and wait for autumn to roll around again so it matched. It ended up taking like 2 years to shoot it.
Yeah. So as far as your cameras, you're actually shooting with the camera your character had, the
Sony
and then you
ZV-1.
used two GoPros, or
just Paul had a GoPro on. The shot when I'm putting it on him in the film is literally me putting it on him and turning it on. I just have my camera running at the same time. When I'm pulling up in the car and I'm first seeing him and everything, like I didn't know he was going to take a piss. He was actually taking a piss, and I just reacted to him actually pissing. So I did shoot it on that Sony camera. It's like a 500-pound vlogging camera, because you can flip the screen all the way around. So for the night stuff, when I was running around the woods shooting, myself, I could flip around and just check I was in frame and stuff. Like I'm having a nightmare now because I'm shooting something in a similar way. It's not found footage, but I'm shooting it on a VHS-C camera, which has a viewfinder that only goes one way and no pop-out screen. So I'm like trying to film myself on a camera I pretty much can't see through. So I kind of miss the setup I had on Foxhollow. Actually, it was quite good. The only thing that I struggled with was sound because I didn't have a boom guy. Paul was doing his own sound through through an audio recorder that was on his belt, and then he had a lapel mic coming up to here, and then I was catching my sound off a mic on the top of the ZV-1. If I'd known now, I would have bought 2 lapel mics like YouTubers use, put them on, put the little transmitter on top of my camera, and then I would have had good sound. It is something I struggled with, the sound, because the wind was so bad up there. We just got battered, so it was hitting his lapel. It was knocking my mic as well, so I had to do a lot of work. I mean, the sound's still like pretty patchy now, and I have to do a lot of work on it just to get it that patchy. So yeah, it was a big
sounded
learning.
good. I mean, as far as a found footage movie, it matches. You know,
Yeah.
kind of what you would
That's
expect.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't notice
It
it.
worked for you.
Yeah, if anything, it made it sound. It made it more real.
Yeah,
Oh,
more
that's-
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're talking about the night scenes. I thought the night scenes were very suspenseful.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they worked for you. They were pretty intense in places.
I
You
think
know.
trying to slow it down was like at the point when I rewrote it, there wasn't enough night stuff. There wasn't enough scary stuff, and like the days weren't punctuated by so many nights. So I actually cut days in two and added extra nights and things just to put a bit more of that suspense in there, and trying to slow myself down while I was there as well. I think when you're in the woods by yourself or just with me and Amy, it is kind of freaky just walking around with a torch in the middle of the woods at night. So like a lot of it, before I would go to 11 and be running around, I had to kind of slow myself down, slow everything down, and just actually do it. Just walk through the woods really slowly with a torch, just scanning for stuff, just to try and make those long segments where the main thing about the film and the only kind of foresight that I did have in making it was because I knew I couldn't show the creature. The only scary thing I could do really is make you stare into darkness and look for it. So I tried to do that as much as possible.
I'll tell you that's what made it so suspenseful for me is the torch beam shining on a dark, just in the darkness, and you know something, you're gonna see something, and you're like waiting for it. It just makes it really suspenseful, and I like
I
those
love
scenes.
stuff like that. Anyway, like I love slow, creepy stuff. I don't, maybe it's my age because I'm not so in. There's a few jump scares, but I'm not so into jump scares, or I'm more into slow creepiness. Telling you there's something there and then just make you look for it, I think, is always better than.
To me, that's the scariest part is you're waiting for it. Where's it at? It's going to be there, and you're looking for the eyes, or you're looking for motion or anything. It's just creepy to me. I like that.
Yeah.
And then when you don't see it, your brain starts to work.
Yeah.
To try to make it appear. You're thinking about it in your head. And to me, I'm with you as far as building up the creepiness.
Yeah.
To me, if you work with my head, that's scarier than just showing me a monster jumping out from behind a tree, ripping somebody's arm off. I like the suspense a whole lot more than I do just standard jump scares.
Yeah, me too. I think that's something I had to try and work on in the edit as well, because it's hard not to cut to the parts where stuff is going to happen. Because I've written it and I've shot it and I've acted in it as well. Like I know where things are, what's happening. So when you're editing, it's hard to step out of that and then try and watch it as a viewer who doesn't know where things are, and then create suspense for yourself. You almost have to watch it to the point where, like, I would edit it to the point where I was sick of it, and then I would take a break for like 6 weeks and not watch it, and then come back and watch the same scene, and then I could see it through someone's eyes far removed enough from my own experience to go, oh, okay, this is way too fast, or this, I need an extra shot here, I need more of a build up here. That was the one cool thing about taking the 2 years to shoot it was, and being the main actor too, is I can just go out with the camera and just shoot more stuff. Like there was never a point where I was like, I need a pickup, but I can't get somebody back. It's like I could always go and shoot more. And if the only thing I would need to do to make more effort to make a scene better is go out myself and shoot something, then there's no excuses really. I don't have anybody else to wait for or anything. I just go do it, which was cool.
Well, Tom, do you have a favorite scene from your movie?
I like Paul's monologue by the river when he's talking about his sighting. I think that was a really cool moment, and that was one of those moments where his GoPro was on me, so I had to respond in real time to what he was doing without reacting as a filmmaker. I had to just react as an actor. But inside, I'm like, fuck, yeah, this is awesome. And then he got a knife out and started fucking about with an apple. And like, I want to be like, this is great, right? Do that, get it. You know what I mean? I want to like direct him, and I can't. So that was one of the scenes as we were filming it that I was internally going, okay, this is working. I think this is going to be a film. This could actually work. And not being able to show any of it on my face at all. Like, there's a bit when he's like, oh, do you like loud music? Do you like metal? And I laugh because it's like everyone knows that I like metal and like I look like a fucking metalhead. And I'm also laughing because I'm just like releasing tension just to be like, oh, fuck. You know, like that. I think that's probably one of my favorite things. I think as a editor though, maybe the way the night stuff links at the end, I was pretty pleased with. It's something that I really like from the Blair Witch remake. They do it in VHS 2 in Gareth Evans's section with the cult. Like, it's linking set pieces together using like whip cuts and stuff like Edgar Wright, you know. That was something I really wanted to try and do, and I'm really happy with how that bit came together at the end. And I'm trying to up it on the new film I'm doing now, which is found footage. I'm trying to do the same thing again, but make it even more elaborate and even more crazy with set pieces linking together like a jigsaw puzzle at the end.
Kendall, you have a favorite scene that you liked?
I do, but I can't say what it is
Uh-oh.
because it'll reveal too much. It involves Trapper, and I'll leave it at that. I think, well, I know Tom knows what I'm talking about. Patrick, I hope you know what I'm talking about too.
I think
Stay through the credits.
Yeah, yeah. Stay to the end.
Stay through the credits.
The
I nearly didn't make it in there too. I nearly cut it. I'm glad I didn't.
Yep. Stay through the credits, and you will see my favorite scene. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin it.
I'll tell you what I liked. Tom, you kept hitting all the Bigfoot tropes that I like in movies. I always, Kendall knows what I'm talking about. It's like if you do the tree knocking, you know, you find some fur on a tree. You find, you know, just everything. Every time something happened like that, I would just grin ear to ear. I like that you put all that in there. So instead of just nothing, you know, you just watching a movie and they don't find any signs of a Bigfoot or anything. You packed them all in there. I love that. That was
I felt like with no money, that was like one of the only things I did have was I had the time I'd spent looking into Bigfoot and being obsessed with Bigfoot. Like, I've got him tattooed on my leg. I've got a whole leg sleeve of like cryptids. You know, it's like I had my little nerdy corner where I just look into all that stuff and I love it all. And like that stuff making it into the film. Like one of my main hopes was like horror people would like it or watch it or at least appreciate the work that went in because it's no money and like no crew, but also like hopefully Bigfoot people would see those little bits and go, oh cool, that's that, right, now he's talking about that, that's this happening. So I'm really glad, like that's made my day, man. That's what I was going for.
How about the poster? I saw on IMDb who created it. I'm looking for it. It was Anne, wasn't it?
Amy, yeah, my partner.
Amy, I'm sorry, Amy.
Yeah, because she's tattooing, man. She's really good at art. So, yeah, she drew the poster just on the iPad. We kind of made a collage of all the photographs, like the screen grabs we pulled, and then yeah, she drew it and made it. And yeah, it looks awesome. Like I really wanted an old school illustrated poster just because I'm such a big fan of like VHS and like painted artwork and stuff, you know, like yeah, that was big. Like there was a few others I messed around with, but nothing was as cool as the one she illustrated. Yeah, so we went for that one.
Now, the real question though is, are you gonna get a back tattoo of that poster on your
my own face on my back, like Steve?
Yeah, I like the artwork. I'll tell you, I saw two posters, and the one I liked the most was the silhouette of Bigfoot.
Oh, that's cool.
The artwork is in his silhouette inside, you know.
Yeah,
I like
that one.
Cool.
I made I made that after the first one was made because
Yeah.
when I was sending it to distributors, I was worried that with the name being kind of vague and the poster just being a bunch of heads, people would think it was a drama or not a horror or
Yeah.
not a Bigfoot film. So I was like, let me just do one that's really on the nose, so people go, "Oh, cool, a Bigfoot film," and then hopefully the Bigfoot people will give it a go. You know what I mean? That was my.
Yeah.
So we're kind of using both. I think for the Blu-ray, when I did the crowdfund and the Blu-ray came out, the illustrated poster was the front, and then that bit, the inside the Bigfoot was on the back, and it was on the disc as well. We'll probably do a similar thing when we do the new Blu-rays that are coming this year.
I love the tagline on the poster. It said, "If you go looking for monsters, you'll find
Yeah.
them," or something like that.
That was one of the few lines I did write. I didn't write too many lines,
And
but by
that
the
tells you
time,
everything you need to know about the movie.
yeah,
There,
Yeah.
it's a good
yeah.
tagline.
Yeah, it was hard coming up with a tagline. I've never needed to do it before. Like I was learning a lot of this stuff as I was going, how to do a synopsis, how to do a tagline. I was quite chuffed with how well I managed to sum it up when you asked me what the film was about, because I've been trying to hone that down for the last year, talking to people, just to be able to like explain it in a sentence. It's all kind of new skills that I'm learning.
So, Tom, what would you say was the hardest part about making the film for you?
The hardest part for me was pushing through when nobody else can see what you can see. The actors come and they do their day or 2 days. And obviously, Amy, my partner, had written it with me, and she kind of knew that's what I was doing. But for most of the time, it's just me pushing this thing, going, I think I've got this idea that's going to work, and same with the edit. I'm just at a computer, just watching this thing, trying to make it make sense. And like I think that's the hard part, is once you're in that for a while, like a year or so, you start to feel kind of crazy. You get lost in the weeds, you don't know if it makes sense, you don't know if it's good anymore. Everyone's going, "Oh, how's fucking Bigfoot coming on?" And you're like, yeah, I'm still going, man, I'm still trying. And like it becomes like a running joke with everyone, like, "Oh, he's off to this fucking Bigfoot movie." And like you feel like a crazy guy for a while. I think that was the hard part. And then by the time I got to the end of finishing the film and sending it to people and it coming out, I still didn't really know if it was good or even worth watching. So the nicest part now has been people like you guys actually watching it and going, "Yeah, that was right." So that's been cool. That I'm not crazy.
Let me ask you, kind of on the flip side, what was your favorite part? Do you like the writing or the directing or the filming, the editing? What's your favorite part of filmmaking?
My favorite part is always editing.
Yeah.
Like the writing I really enjoy because I'm just so excited about this new idea that I've got. The filming is my least favorite part because everything goes wrong. It's really difficult. I have to deal with loads of people. And I don't even have like proper crews, big crews or anything, because I don't want to deal with loads of people. But yeah, that's always the hardest bit. But then when I get home and the next day I can get up and I know I've got like an hour of footage to edit, that moment when I know I've got some new footage to cut is my favorite. It's always kind of my favorite moment in my life, or whatever. It's one of my favorite experiences in my life, which is why I keep doing filmmaking, even though it's really hard and I don't have any money. I love the excitement of having the new footage and then going through it and starting to shape it and seeing if it works. That's like the kid on Christmas moment for me that I still, probably one of the only areas of my life that still gives me that joy that I used to have when I was really young. It's like I can't wait to like cut the scene and see how it works and show it to like people. And yeah, that's the one for me.
Kendall, what else you got, man?
Well, just let's go over the creature itself. How did that come to be, and what kind of alterations did you do, or just kind of give us a quick rundown of the creature itself.
So I knew there would be parts where we would see the creature and we would catch glimpses of it because I couldn't get an expensive costume. And these costumes have got the extra height in them, like they've got eye holes here, so like the head is like 7 foot or whatever, 6.5 foot. I knew we couldn't do any of that, but I also didn't want to kind of pull back to the point where I showed you absolutely nothing. Like I wanted you to see something. I wanted you to know that what it was. So I bought a gorilla costume off eBay. It was like £50. But when we looked at it, like it was all black fur, but then we got a bunch of wigs and we sewed like long onto the arms. And Amy, again, like my partner Amy, did all the costume stuff because I don't have the patience to sit there and sew a bunch of hair onto a cut. Like I would have gone to the woods with the £50 eBay gorilla costume. Like, she hadn't have been like, fucking wait there now. So she cut the head, man, and the head was like plastic that was higher than what it looked like. So it had kind of a Harry and the Henderson's forehead, which was cool. She painted all the face, and then she painted the body and added loads of hair to it, different colored hairs and things, matted it all up. And we shot some tests then with her in the garden just to see if it would work. And yeah, if you put direct light on it, it looks like a costume. But if you just have it creep out of the darkness, I think it works well enough to be like, okay, there's something big over there, which is all I needed it to do, really.
Right.
Yeah, so thankfully Amy made that happen. I was just lucky to have somebody around me who, could slow me down enough to make it look good. And
you saying that, it makes me feel good because Kendall and I, we're always talking about that. Like if filmmakers make a Bigfoot movie and they can't afford a good costume, show it in the shadows. Don't show it if it's a cheap looking costume. And you did the perfect thing, man. You nailed it, with what you did. And that's what we're always trying to tell filmmakers that are wanting to make a Bigfoot movie. If you don't have the perfect costume, hide it,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you did what you had, made the best of the situation you had, and I think it worked for you. Good, it came out good.
I think that's the good thing about having limitations, not having much money is if you've got producers and you've got money and everything, then you can just throw money at problems. But if you don't have any of those things and you just have limitations, you have to be creative with the limitation, and you have to lean into them and you have to flip them and go, okay, this is where we're limited, but now we can make that into a strength. And we're going to slow it all down and make it really creepy. If we can't have it really full on and he's, flipping buses or whatever he was doing and exists where you could see him, you know what I mean? Like, then we have to go the opposite way. We have to go like, try and do a Hitchcock fucking, the bomb's under the table and you're waiting for it to go off. You know what I mean? Like that's what I tried to do with it. He's there, but you don't know where. And like there's a section in the film where Andrew finds him in the background, and then it's like, they were being stalked the whole time. That was like a direct rip of like Lake Mungo as well, because Lake Mungo is one of my other favorite kind of found footage, fake documentary films. So at the time, I think going from Willow Creek and Exists and like the Lost Coast tapes and all that kind of stuff, and then going, we can do this Lake Mungo thing with talking heads. We can make it a fake documentary. We can show things in the background, and that was something that I think the costume worked for as well. It's just seeing glimpses of like her past behind me. There was one where we couldn't even find her. Like there's literally a shot that we shot her in the background, and then I couldn't find her again in the footage. Like we didn't even put it in the film. I was like, I don't know where you are in this shot. I swear she's in it, but I don't know where she is in it. So we didn't put it in because I was like, if I can't find Bigfoot, then no one's going to find it.
Now, is there anywhere? I know you said you have DVDs or Blu-rays available.
Yeah.
Where can people reach out to you to order the film or to watch it if they want to stream it? Where can they stream it? Is it available for purchase on streaming?
So
all your social media links and all that kind of stuff.
So you can watch it on povhorror.com. They're the distributor. You can rent it. I think it's $1.99. You can rent it right now on povhorror.com. And that directly supports me as well because the money comes back to me from that. And also they're working on putting it on other platforms at the moment. So we're hoping that it's going to go on Prime, and it's going to go on Tubi, and it should be on a whole bunch of streaming things soon. I hope anyway. That's being worked on from January this year. We're also doing another run of Blu-rays now. We did do a crowdfund to do some Blu-rays. They sold out, but I'm talking to a UK distributor at the moment about doing another run of Blu-rays. So hopefully that's going to happen as well. My production company is called Ritual Video, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's ritual_video, and also on Facebook as Ritual Video, and I'll be posting shop links on there. So when we get those Blu-rays made and I've got new copies to send people, I'll be setting up a shop this year to sell my stuff directly to people as well.
You have any plans?
And will you have T-shirts of that poster?
That's what I was going to ask. You got plans?
I might do. So like the other thing I do is I do like a record label. So I do like cassettes and I do T-shirts and things because I make music. So I know T-shirt printers. I know kind of how to set it up for print. So I could do it. Yeah, maybe I could do like the Bigfoot shape on the front and then the full poster on the back or something. Or that would be cool. I definitely want to set up a shop this year anyway, because the new stuff I'm making, we're going to be doing VHS and DVDs and like a lot more collectors things for like film collectors like me, basically. So I'll be setting up a shop this year and it will be coming.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, Kendall, you ready to put him in a hot seat?
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Let's do it.
Been waiting for this moment. Okay. On Filmsquatch, we rate films on a scale of 1 to 10 Bigfoot tracks, with 1 being the worst Bigfoot film ever made and 10 being the greatest, which in my opinion is The Legend of Boggy Creek. In your opinion, and there's no right or wrong answer here, where would you rate Foxhollow? How many Bigfoot tracks, 1 out of 10, would you give your film?
I think that the way it is now, I would give it 6. I would give it 6. I would say it's a 5 or a 6. It's a solid enough film with respect for Bigfoot and respect for the lore and the info, and it's not an exploitative film, and it's kind of on Bigfoot's side. At least I am. So I feel like it's at least respectful and there's some info in there. So I don't think it's down too far down the low end, but I think if I had a bigger budget and I could remake it like they did with Evil Dead 2, then maybe I could get up there. Maybe I could head towards a 7 or an 8. People have asked me about doing another one, and I do kind of want to do another one. So maybe I'll be able to kind of set something else there and have different characters go in.
Okay. Yep. Patrick, you want to rate it or you want me to rate next?
You can go ahead.
I'll go ahead. I'm going to go 1 higher than you. I give it a 7 out of 10. And I say this, and Patrick knows, I'm not a big found footage person, although Exist is way up there. I love Exists. Yeah. And I give you a 7 out of 10. The only thing that I would knock down, and this is strictly a medical reason, I get motion sickness. Easily.
The cameras, yeah.
And for folks, and this is strictly for medical purposes. Yeah. If you're listening to this or watching this and you have issues with motion sickness, you might have to look away a couple times, because I had to, just because the camera was going all over the place and I wasn't. So
That's fair.
I give it 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. For me, Trapper made the movie.
Yeah.
He was just dark and creepy and mysterious enough. He was probably scarier than the actual creature.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job. But 7 out of 10 Bigfoot tracks for me. Patrick?
I want to say again, I thought it was suspenseful in a lot of places, especially in the pitch black, where all you see is the torch or the flashlight beam going through complete darkness. I mean, that to me, that's terrifying. You're just like on the edge, waiting, you're gonna see something you don't want to see. That's kind of my feeling of it. But yeah, that was terrifying to me. I thought the acting was great throughout. Everybody did a good job. And I appreciate you, like I said, hitting all those tropes for Bigfoot films. and I was kind of like mentally checking them off every time one would you would show one. I was like, yeah, he's doing it,
That's
he's
cool.
nailing it. But it's I'll tell you something that I liked was seeing a Bigfoot film from somewhere else besides the United States. You know, that's always
Mm,
interesting to me because I like seeing the landscapes and the accents, all that kind of stuff
yeah,
from
yeah,
different countries and what their take on the Bigfoot lore and culture and all that
yeah,
is. So I really enjoyed that. And I also want to say I like that you only cut it down to like an hour,
yeah,
which
Yeah.
for a found footage movie, that's perfect. I mean, I think if it went 2 hours, that'd be too long, you know, for found
yeah.
footage. And you hit it just right on the head. I mean, that was a good length for me. It kept my interest, is what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm very pleased with it. I'm trying to look at some notes here if I had anything I'm leaving out. But and I agree with Kendall. I gave it a 7 Bigfoot tracks in my notes. I thought it was very good. You've got a good Bigfoot film. I think everyone's going to
That's awesome.
enjoy it.
Thank you.
And I highly recommend for people to get out there and watch it because
Yeah.
it's good. It's fun. I liked it. But
Thanks a lot.
that's what I
I,
want to say about that. Yeah.
I did have it longer too. Like I did have it like 120, 125, but every time I try and put more stuff in, it would just kill the pace. The only way I could get it to ramp up the way I wanted it to ramp up was to have it an hour, just an hour, you know. Like I think I just got over an hour because you couldn't put it into film festivals
Yeah.
if it was under an hour as a feature as well.
Right.
So I got lucky with that because I could enter it into fest too because I was just over the hour, which was cool. Yeah, I think any longer and it would have kind of bogged it down.
Kendall and I put on film festivals, and
Oh, that's cool.
the hour length is really good because if in the feature category, because if say we got 3 films we're trying to choose from, and
Yeah,
2 of them are 2.5 hours long, and
yeah,
we have some other films we want to show, that hour might get you a better chance of being selected to make room
yeah,
for other
yeah.
films. You know what I'm saying? So
Have
I
you ever
know a
done a
lot of
Bigfoot film festival?
directors look at that.
Have you ever done a Bigfoot one, like a programmed a Bigfoot film festival?
No, well, sort of in Falk, Arkansas, where the Legend of Boggy Creek took
Oh,
place,
yeah,
a
yeah.
little town. We started a festival last year, and we
Cool.
had short films that we showed there. I think we did 10 of them, and then at the end we had a feature film.
Nice.
So we're going to do that again this year, and it'll probably be the same format. We're getting short films now. I've got like 3 people that are making some just for this
Oh, nice.
presentation.
That's
And then
cool.
we'll probably show another feature that day too. But yeah,
Awesome.
so we did start that one. But the other festivals we put on are just independent film festivals, any genre. But we've
Cool.
been
You do
doing
have the
one for 15
Filmsquatch
years.
award though.
Oh, yeah.
The for I can't remember if it's in the Lake Charles Film Festival or the Short Film Festival, but in one of those two festivals, we give an award specifically for Bigfoot feature.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So Tom, let me ask you, what kind of advice can you give to someone just starting out that wants to make a Bigfoot movie? What would you tell them? What's the biggest thing you could tell them?
I think do your research and spend a lot of time learning about what people think is out there and the history of Bigfoot, the different countries, and really hear both sides of it. You know, listen to skeptic stuff and listen to believer stuff and see where you sit on the whole thing, and then try and write something from your perspective on the thing. You know, I think my when I wrote this, like my perspective on Bigfoot was that I'm on his side and I like him kind of more than I like people. So I'm like, to me, he's kind of, I don't know if he's like a misunderstood animal, but I always saw it as something that's smarter than people, that has been able to hide successfully from humanity for this amount of time and survive. So treating it as something that I respect and writing the film from the perspective that I respect this animal that could be out there. And I think that rubbed off on the trapper stuff. So I would say know your Bigfoot stuff. Don't make something without understanding it, and do your research while you're writing, and then limit the production as much as you can to, I don't know, whatever it is, like a few locations, a few actors, however you want to do it. But especially if you're a no budget filmmaker or a first time filmmaker like me, the more you limit yourself, the less chance there is that you'll give up or hit too many hurdles and fail, like limit yourself, keep it small and manageable for you to make sure you finish it. Because that's the main thing, is whatever people think of it is cool. Like if you can finish a film and put it out there, that's the real reward, I guess, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Absolutely.
do you have anything else to say about your film that we forgot to ask, or anything you wanted to mention?
No, I don't think so. I think you guys covered everything, to be honest, that I would have said.
All right.
Said about it. I don't want to tell people what I'm working on next, though, and what I've got coming, which I'm excited about. If I could do that.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
So now the Foxhollow's coming out, it's going to get wider distribution this year, which would be cool. I've been writing and shooting a new found footage film called Wishenwell Road for the last year. I started last autumn. I'm cutting that now. It's nearly finished. It's going to be closer to an hour and a half. I'm acting it again. And it's about a podcaster who gets caught up in a missing person case. Again, shot really low budget around where I live. So if you like Foxhollow, then hopefully you'll like Wishenwell Road when that comes out. And I also have a really crazy shot on video superhero slasher film called Weed Killer coming out this summer, which is going to be out on VHS and DVD. And that's like super low budget, splattery, crazy superhero violence about a gardener who goes on like a revenge rampage with garden tools against a gang that takes over his allotment and ruins his prize-winning plants. So if you like B movies, then keep an eye out for Weed Killer this year as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll have to remember that one.
All right. Well, Tom, we want to thank you for being on Filmsquatch, man. We're proud of you for making this film, making a good film, and we know you're going to have a lot of success with your future projects. So
thanks a lot. Really appreciate it, guys. It was fun.
right.
Yeah, it was real cool talking with you. Really appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. Thank you very much.
Definitely looking forward to Weed Killer.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It'll be done soon. I'm cutting it now, so I'll send you stuff as it's done.
Cool.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was our interview with Tom. We hope you enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed talking with Tom. Real cool guy. And Foxhollow, I highly recommend it. Give it a look. Go check it out and rent it. Support independent filmmakers. Make sure they get them funds, because the more money they get, the more movies they can make. And that's the only way they're going to be able to make movies, if we support them. So get out there and support them. And Patrick, we've got a few things coming up for ourselves here. Why don't you give folks an update on the Filmsquatch movie?
Yeah, Tatai D, man. We're in the editing phase right now, and we also have a composer out of New Orleans named Maxwell Darling, and he's working on the soundtrack right now. And I'm cutting the film. It's just a lengthy process because we're trying to get it to look the best we can and to sound the best we can. So probably a couple of months out until we have a completed project, and then we'll start submitting it to film festivals. And we hope to have a premiere on our Facebook page for everyone to see. So just keep waiting. We'll keep making announcements about it.
And they can also check out the exhibit at the Henning House, part of the Brimstone Museum Complex in Sulphur, Louisiana, through the end of February of this year. And go take a look at it. There's some lobby cards. There's a movie poster. The creature itself is out there. You can go take a picture with it.
Yeah, cut you a lock of its hair off to save.
Yeah, whenever Patrick passes away and he's a major director, it'll jump up in value. And yeah, go support the Brimstone if you're local. And if you're not local, but you're adjacent, if you're over in Texas, hey, it's worth the drive over to Sulphur. You can go to the Henning House, and then you can go grab a bite to eat somewhere. We also we haven't secured anything yet, as far as I know, but waiting on responses from a few conventions that we've submitted to make appearances, and hopefully, once the short film is completed, it will also be entering a few film festivals, and we'll definitely keep you guys up to date on all of that. Keep an eye on our social media, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure that you see us. If we are going to be appearing at any upcoming conventions, that's where you'll probably find out about it first. Over there, you can also check out filmsquatch.com. And Patrick, if you don't have anything else to add as far as that kind of stuff is concerned, I only have one question for you. If I'm in Wales in the forest, and a dude in a long black slicker coat or trench coat, whatever it was, the cool jacket,
the knife,
yeah, the cool jacket the trapper was wearing, a guy like that appears out of nowhere, and he asks me if I'll shoot some footage for him. What do you think I should do?
Well, man, I'll tell you the first thing I'll do is I'll start looking around, man, because if you find a footprint or some hair hanging in a tree, or you hear some wood knocks or anything, you better watch your back, because Bigfoot's out there.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Film Squatch. If you like the podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us. Make sure to like us on Facebook and join in on some of our interactive discussions. Remember, Bigfoot is out there. Watch your back.